Okay, so we had to take a little break because we use condoms, kids. Don't be like me and Trishelle on our Real World seasons. Like, being pregnant's whack, even though everyone and their mama are currently pregnant right now. There are so many, you probably don't know this, so many like MTV stars. Camila just announced her pregnancy today.
No.
Yes! Camila
What?
just announced her pregnancy today.
Who's the daddy? Do we know? She has a boyfriend or something?
Mm-mm. And I think she said
that's
that.
probably,
I
I
think
shouldn't
she
even ask these
I
questions.
think she said the baby's father is someone that she really cares about. I care about a lot of people. I don't want to be pregnant by them.
I'm married and I'm not pregnant.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that because you are my role model. You were just living your life. Cheers to safe sex because no one wants babies.
Yeah.
And you did Battle of the Seasons and Rivals too with Camila.
Yeah, Camila is like a tough competitor. She really like loves the challenges. And so I'm surprised. I guess maybe not, but like I guess she could take a break and come back.
Oh, well, she's not really technically allowed to come back.
Why?
Oh, Trishelle doesn't know.
I don't watch the challenges
I know you
anymore.
didn't,
It
and
makes
that's
me sad.
After what happened on Dirty 30, she made a very inappropriate comment to Leroy. We had to film a whole like racist in America section.
A racist comment? That's weird.
Because Camila's not racist.
I was gonna say
Camila isn't racist, but then and even though she is a Spanish woman, as a woman that looks white, there are certain things you cannot say to a black man.
That's shocking because I never knew
She's
her
not
as
racist at all, but
yeah.
But here's the thing, that's not why she is officially banned, and I will go on record to say she is banned from MTV. It wasn't because of that. So then they filmed Champs vs. Stars, and she punched a PA in the face. They were getting her ready for an interview. She did not want to get ready. She was drunk. She punched a PA in the face and drove off in a golf cart and almost drove into traffic.
That 100% checks more than the racist thing.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I
understand
and you
that.
know this, and a lot of people don't understand this, but you know that, like, in order to film a reality show, there has to be an insurance companies that insure that show.
Yeah.
And the insurance company would not cover Camila, and you're hearing it here first. That's why Camila has never been back on MTV. The insurance companies would not sign off on her liability. But now she is with child. She's 31. Cheers to Camila
Congratulations,
and
Camila.
her child. Yo,
Hey.
she's the best big sister. I don't know if a
I
big
love
sister
Camila.
turns into a good big mother,
Yeah.
but she's the best big sister I know. So cheers to Camila.
She's super outdoorsy. She'll be a great mom. She'll like take that kid everywhere in a backpack and like whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna come see you in Whistler next year, Camila.
Can you find out who her baby's father is and let us know?
I don't know.
Will you go visit her and then report back right here, right now? And
I'm gonna try.
okay, if anyone can get it done, it's Trishelle. So you no longer watch the challenges. Why not?
I just like stopped caring. Oh, and also this is what I don't like. Did Veronica get whenever she came back about age on the challenge? Because
That's when I met her. Dirty 30, absolutely.
men can be 40 and 45 years old and nobody cares, and that's so cool. And the girls who are in their late 30s and early 40s are like old hags. Like, why should they be there? What? How is that? Like, it's so misogynistic. I hate that culture.
It is.
So
And people don't realize what we deal with. I remember on Dirty 30, me and Veronica would just drink wine and live our best lives. Like, you would have loved to hang out with us. We would literally just drink wine and live our best lives, and we would get called the old hens because we held men in that house accountable when they would say shit. And I would literally be like, do we need to pull out her Playboy pictures? Because none of you bitches could do what my sis has been doing.
Yeah, no. Veronica's gorgeous. And so, like, I didn't like that, too, because the last challenge that I did, the one that
Rivals, too. We're gonna have to discuss that.
Oh, we will. But, I mean, people were already kind of making comments about my age because I think I was the oldest one there.
On Rivals, too, you were, I think,
Actually, the oldest cast member, I think. Period.
It is so different now. It is a totally different world. Like, if you came back for a challenge, I think that you would last about 12 hours and you would be like, F these people. I am way better than all of these Instagram wannabes.
Yeah.
They so badly want to be what you and Veronica and Rachel have already done.
The gauntlet was the most fun that I've had on a challenge. So much
I
fun.
would literally give, I have 2 kidneys, right?
Yeah.
I would give one.
Well, I don't know. Did you?
I don't think I have. I would give a kidney to be on the gauntlet with you and Veronica and like go back to that time.
So fun. It was like.
But that wasn't the mountain bike accident.
That was the mountain bike accident.
Okay. So can you explain? People really want to know about what happened on the mountain bike situation and show the scar. She still has scars.
I still have legit scars.
Okay.
So like, we had days off, and like me.
And days off mean no cameras. And
No
they were
cameras.
allowed to go out and live your best life, right?
Actually, for like 2 days in a row.
You could just go do whatever the you wanted to do.
Yeah, and
a lot of. I'm not saying you did. I've heard from reliable sources that they used to do a lot of drugs. They used to party.
Everyone had a lot of drugs, and weird because Telluride's such a small town, but it's weird. People do drugs in small towns.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
That's when y'all would film challenges in America.
In the United States. Yeah, it was a small town in Colorado. This was in 2003, I think.
This was your first challenge?
Or 2004. Yeah, my first challenge ever. I had no clue what to expect.
Did you have, walking into the house, did you watch the challenge? Do you have any, like when I walked in the Battle of the Seasons, I was the most excited to meet you. So who did you walk into that house most excited to meet? Did you watch or did you?
I did watch the challenges because Katie Doyle, I watched her challenges, and like I was already kind of like hanging out with the Miz.
So and we are there.
Yeah.
So y'all started dating or hanging out before y'all went on your first challenge.
We had never.
So you had that alliance technically set up.
But we never kissed before the challenge. It was y'all. I'm telling you.
So y'all's first kiss was caught on camera.
It was the most pure relationship I've ever had in my life. Let's be honest. Like honestly, he courted me. Like we actually liked.
Courted. Okay, for you young kids, that means like dating properly.
Dating with like not even like physical activities. But we started for real dating like after.
Okay.
But on the challenge, he had my back, and Coral was pissed. And I love Coral now.
I can imagine you hate her. Coral, like when I
didn't hate her then. I just was intimidated by her. I was horrified that I knew that she hated me, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's one
like,
person
I look up to her so much.
Like a lot of people can hate me. Coral, one person, if she hated me, I would cry. I'm not gonna lie, because it's Coral.
She's amazing, and like I was super intimidated by her, and she's hot, and she's cool, and she's like everything.
And she doesn't wrestle; she beat bitches up.
I know, yeah. The Miz, I had a crush on him, and and so he was like, "Let's go mountain biking. Maybe there's a challenge that's gonna involve mountain biking."
So y'all were training?
Yeah, like legitimately, we thought that
y'all were training out here training.
Yes.
When you should have been drinking wine.
Exactly.
And you know what my favorite thing to say on the challenge? What? I'd rather be hungover than overworked. And you were overworked because what happened on that mountain bike?
I almost killed myself. So like I was literally going down the mountain so hardcore. If y'all like Google Telluride, Colorado mountain, it's 14,000 plus feet. It's like super straight down, and I was on a bike that I'm not experienced. By the way, Mike was the one who told us to get helmets at the last minute, and
thank God,
because
I would not be sitting here drinking wine with me right now.
The doctor told me I wouldn't be here.
Oh my God.
So apparently I said caution, walk your bike, and I was going so fast in front of the guys that I panicked and I hit both brakes, and I just completely, the bike stopped. I tumbled over. I got like the side of my face.
You had a huge black eye on camera, right?
2 black eyes.
Oh,
I look like, they were saying that I look like Sloth from the Goonies. I don't know if that's like beyond people's like.
No, I think people are gonna know. I think people are gonna know.
I don't care what age you are. You should know what the Goonies are. But like, I have a scar here. I have a scar on my shoulder. Like, I have a scar like on my knee still, all from this accident. It's crazy.
Were you sent home because of the accident?
No. So they didn't send me home. They just let me skip out on like one challenge. And I was all bandaged up. I did another challenge.
Did they explain it on camera? Why, like?
Oh yeah, they said
that you were on an off day and had a bike wreck. You might be the reason the off days got taken away.
It wasn't my fault. Like I was training.
I've never had an off day on the challenge because Trishelle's training on a mountain bike to impress the Miz.
You know, it's crazy because we actually all liked each other back
then. That's what I miss about it.
So we had fun. Yes, there was drama and competition because it was competition, but like, and people hooked up and stuff, but it wasn't like fist fighting and like whatever. It was just like we liked hanging out together.
Trishelle, this is what's going to blow your mind the most. The last time that I remember an entire cast liking each other and having fun was Rivals 2. It's not the same anymore. We live in a different culture. It's a different, and I remember I came back for Dirty 30. I haven't been on one since Mike passed away.
Yeah.
Verona had come back, and she hadn't been on one in a minute. And we sat there and would just be like, this isn't.
Were y'all like horrified by all like these people?
We were.
Was this whenever they started inviting people from like Big Brother and all these other shows?
Okay, so.
That I hate. Oh my God, I hate it. I will never ship it. I don't like it. It's like not my thing.
And a lot of fans agree with you. A lot of fans.
I don't like it.
People don't like it.
You didn't go through the same process that we did.
And that's the issue. Like, being from the real world and the road rules, like, we're cast being a genuine human.
We're family, and Una Murray always made it a point to say that Road Rules and Real World was family.
Speaking of Rivals, too.
That was, like, my least gracious exit I've ever made.
And I remember laying in bed. It was probably, like, what, 7, 8 a.m.? It was early morning. It was early morning. And I remember looking out my window, and I see you with both of your suitcases. You take both suitcases, and to get to the house, there was a huge hill. You took one suitcase, you threw it down the hill. You took the other suitcase, you threw it, and then you just casually walked down the hill. And so I saw with my own eyes you make an exit. Yeah. I didn't tell anyone that you had left except Marlon. Because remember, Marlon and Knight got in that huge fight the same night, and Marlon had to move. That's the thing, the huge Trishelle Aneesa fight and the huge Marlon and Knight fight both happened in the same night.
I didn't even remember that because I was so in my own thing.
Marlon got moved to our room because to keep him far away from Knight. And I remember he was in the top bunk, and I was like, yo, Trishelle just left. We're not telling anybody.
Do you know that I still never watched the last episode? In all this time, I cannot bring myself to watch it because I'm just like, I know what happened and I know what they aired, and I know that I told Justin Booth to go himself.
Executive producer.
Yeah. He said, hey, when you tell the executive producer of a television show to go yourself, like, you have to know that you're going to get, like, the worst edit ever.
And you're probably like, that's fine, honey, because I've done enough television to last me a lifetime. Everyone thought that you went to a hotel to cool off.
Okay, yeah.
And Sarah was like, she's going to be back. You know Sarah.
Sarah, God bless her.
Oh, God.
She just...
I trust me. And Sarah was like, she's going to be back. Trishelle's a competitor. She's going to be back. She's going to be back. And everyone's like, yeah, Trishelle's going to be back. And I'm like, you dumb bitches. Oh, my God. I remember all of Rivals 2. All Sarah Rice wanted to do was play counselor games. And I literally looked at her and was like, if you try to play one more game with me, I'll kill you.
The worst part of Rivals 2 was that because of my foot infection that I got on the first night is that I was sober for like 10 days because I was on the antibiotics.
Also, you got that foot infection because
of the fight.
CT and Marlon got in the fight, and CT broke all the glass.
I have never felt so unsafe on a challenge than I did that challenge when CT, I remember he wanted to punch someone, and I was in the kitchen making eggs, and I had like grease burns on me because he like pushed me into the fire.
It was wild.
CT, and I will go ahead on camera and say it, he has no respect for women. I don't care if he has a kid. I don't care who he's married to. Come at me. He has no respect for women. Bitch. Well, I'm sure she is a bitch because who would be married to him? But yeah.
I'll cheers that.
True.
I'll cheers that. I will 100% cheers that.
Sorry,
she said
not sorry.
She's told no lies. That's nothing you said right there was
horrible. He's horrific, and I don't see him changing at all. I hated him, and then I was just like, I don't want to be in the house with these people, and like him really. And then he broke the glass. I cut my foot, and then everyone's like, oh, Trishelle's crying about her foot. I'm like, we're in Thailand. I'm bleeding.
Bitch, remember because you broke your you got the glass in your foot, and then the very next day they brought the guy in to give us all the shots. Because they were so worried about your foot that we all got shots. Remember, because Zach started crying because Zach hates needles and refused to do the shot.
Oh, that's right.
And they're like, you have to stay. If you're going to stay here, you have to do the shot.
I forgot about that.
So they were so worried about her foot that they literally a little Thai guy came in with a needle like this and put it in all of our arms. So you left. No one knew that you were gone.
Yeah.
And then TJ shows up.
He was like,
Trishelle
Sarah,
left.
Your partner didn't dig deep. Now you gotta go.
Trichelle's a quitter. now.
Actually, I never saw the episode, so I don't know if that's what he said.
You literally just nailed it. I'm gonna you literally just nailed it.
He gets paid a lot of money for dig deep. I mean,
he's been crazy. Using that for how many years?
Yeah, a long time.
Long story short, though, you did not come back, and Sarah was sent home. And
which I do feel bad about.
I mean, you don't really feel that bad.
She's a great competitor.
But then she went on to win Battle of the Exes with Jordan.
Yeah, she's fine. She has a lot of money.
Yeah, and she went on to win that. Johnny took her money. So you never watched the episode.
No.
So I have a confession, and I don't know if you know this.
I heard online that you started.
Give me that started the fight with you and Aneesa.
I knew that.
And you know why I started that fight?
Because you were bored.
No. Yes. But no, there was a little bit.
It.
I stand by this. I'm going to say it right now. I said it in my interviews then. This is the truth. If you and Sarah would have stayed in that house, y'all would have won.
We would have won.
You would have beat Paula and Emily in that final. There is no doubt in my mother.
We would have done well because Sarah's so good with puzzles and it comes down to puzzles. So
y'all would have beat them
too, though.
As much as I love you,
it was gameplay.
Yeah, it was gameplay. And if I didn't get you out of that house, me and Camila would not have been in that final.
I like gameplay.
I know, and that's why I love you so much, is because you are one of the smartest girls to ever play this game.
I kind of did that a little bit, and I got crap about it whenever Nani went home for the challenge.
And now you mention that because, bitch, I saw you do it the season before on Battle of the Seasons. I saw you do it.
I had zero plans of ever voting myself in because
I
was well liked in the house. I knew that everybody else was self-destruct.
And flashback to Battle of the Seasons, the way that Battle of the Seasons worked is if your team went in, your team had to nominate 2 people to go in, aka force 2 people to go in.
Or
what you did.
If we couldn't do it, then other people
And you knew that you were good. And you told Nani that, sis, you better go in because I'm not going in. I did the same thing with Mackenzie. But I saw it work in your favor on Battle of the Seasons, and that's when I realized the importance of Rivals, like the importance of that in Rivals too. I reached out to her and told her I was interviewing you, and I was like, do you have anything that you want me to ask or say to Trishelle? I was like, Trishelle's the reason you went home on Rivals too. Yeah. You know me, I'm like poking Sarah, like, and she was like, honestly, this is what I want you to say. She said, you leaving and never coming back was the smartest decision you've ever made, because she agrees with you that this culture of the challenge, and you know how Sarah feels about it. She thinks that that's the dopest thing that you've ever done. And
really?
for Sarah, of all people, to say that,
I didn't know that.
I have it as a receipt in my DMs. No, she has a lot of respect for you because you noticed it way before she did. She didn't notice it until Johnny stole the money from her on Rivals.
I thought it was unsafe. I didn't like the guys in the house. I didn't like how they were bullying the women. Like, I didn't like a lot of the stuff. They had no respect for us, and like it was just too much. And I don't want to be there anymore. You hear it here first. Sarah has no hard feelings towards you. Well, thank you for telling me that. And also, everyone is so mistaken. They think that I left solely because Aneesa. No, that was like the tipping point. Like, it was building up. I was really, like, wanting to leave.
Have you talked to Aneesa since then?
No. And you know what? Like, it was just because she had, like, tweeted something mean about me, and then maybe I responded.
She has no hard feelings towards you now. Like,
I don't.
Aneesa and I, are very
maybe
close.
I tweeted something. Maybe I got nasty first. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I probably said something nasty, too. I'm not above that or below.
None of us are above the nasty
I don't know.
tweet.
Apparently
I'll clear it up for
came
you.
off that I was racist against Aneesa.
This is what you said, and again, I'm the one that started.
I remember the conversation now.
You were basically just like, you were like, wait, is she like? You didn't realize that Aneesa was Jewish, so you were like, oh wait, I didn't know she was Jewish, and then that like. You just said something about her being Jewish.
I said,
and
I think what I remember from that night, which is weird. And we said Aneesa's everybody. I was like, Aneesa's half white, she's half black. I was like, she's
a lesbian, sometimes straight.
She's straight. She dates dudes. I was like,
she might be Jewish. And I am very guilty. I will be 100% honest with you.
Laughing.
I then it was like. What Trishelle just say? And then I like went and took it to Aneesa, and
we all laughed about it.
And I take full responsibility for being very petty in that moment, because I was like, let's see what happens. But also, I knew that you and Sarah were the strongest in that house, and I get it. In my mind, I just wanted to break any Sarah and Diem alliance. Yeah. Because Sarah and Diem were very similar girls. Right. And I knew that they would come together in an alliance. Yeah. And I knew that I was on the outs of that alliance.
That was like the smartest decision ever. Since I didn't watch the episode, I just have to know, like, okay, I know you're gonna be honest with me. Okay. How bad was it? I've seen memes.
Of Aneesa stiff arming you?
Yes!
It is honestly, Trishelle, one of people's favorite challenge fights. Are you aware of that? But you're stepping up to Aneesa and you're like, yeah, I said it. What's up? Like, let's talk about it. You're like, let's fight about it. Like, you literally, I think you say let's fight. And she's like, I don't want to fight you, and just stiff arms you. It is honestly like one of the best moments.
No,
Trishelle, it's so funny. Like, okay, if it was like a year ago, then you
humiliating.
It's really not. Can everyone tell Trishelle how iconic that fight was?
That's terrible.
People miss those fights though, because it was genuine and it was real and it was fun. Rivals 2 is the last time that we've seen you on a challenge. People so badly want you to come back. What does the theme have to be? What does BMP have to do to get you back?
Honestly, I would love to go back on a challenge if it was something like old school real world road rules people versus like new school.
You know what? I literally worked out with Rachel about a month ago in Miami, and she said I will come back if it's old school versus new school. And then drop names like you, Tina, Mark Long, Darrell.
I love Tina.
Yeah.
That's right. Darrell, Mark Long, yes. Tina, Rachel, of course. Veronica. You're not even old school though. That's the thing.
Can I fall into old school?
No, I don't think so. You're still new school.
Trishelle, of all the new school kids, okay.
You think by now you're
I
old
think
school?
that I'll be old school, and feel free to let us know. I think I'm going to be old school. I think I would be
feel
old
like
school
you're new
because I was an
school.
original Real World kid. My Real World was still original. It wasn't any, like, I'm an old school bitch.
Yeah, but I'm
on your team.
But what I'm talking about is I don't want all those new people from like all these weird shows to come. Like I just want legitimate products of Buena Murray Productions.
I think if they did an experiment and aired an old school challenge on one night and a new school challenge on the next night, I know which one would take the
like
cake.
here's the only person that I know that was on a show that I did like, but I liked her on her original show. It was Davon. And because,
Davon is a motherfucking queen.
Okay,
She's a queen.
was obsessed with her
Trishelle,
on Big Brother.
can we cheers day?
I was obsessed
Trishelle,
with
you would
her.
love her in real life.
She's
she's better in
my
real
mind.
life.
In real life, we would be best friends.
Day, come visit us in New Orleans. She is one of my favorite people.
So I feel bad only because of her. Saying that because I'm just like, oh, like she would be cool to meet and stuff and like hang out
Trishelle,
with. Like I'm a fan
people
of hers.
love her.
Oh,
She's
I love
the
her.
best.
I'm a huge fan.
So I didn't watch her Big Brother season.
Was
but
she good on the challenge?
Okay, so we first met on her first challenge, which was the last one that I did, and
She did multiple challenges?
She's done like 2 or 3 at this point.
What?
We were in the Redemption House together, so her and I got to know each other very well. She's one of my favorite people ever.
Yeah,
And
she was
would
amazing
always,
on Big Brother. I loved her.
She would always tell me, like, Jimmy, you belong on Big Brother.
You know I'm obsessed with Big Brother.
Me too.
Yeah, like bad.
Bad
I
like,
love it.
But Davon is as real in real life as she comes off in camera.
I
And you know, and now that we're gonna speak about her, I want to bring this in the conversation. She got a lot of backlash.
Why?
Because she was a mother. She has a daughter. She got backlash for coming on the challenge. CT, Tony, the fathers did not get this backlash.
Yeah, that is what I don't. Brad,
Yeah.
who left his.
Who hasn't even seen his kids?
I don't want to say that.
They all know that Brad is not involved in those kids' life.
Well,
People
he's
know
not.
that. You're not telling these people anything they don't
Yeah,
know.
I hate that. I don't like this. Y'all have got to stop doing this and judging the women differently than the men. That is completely
And I think she
wrong.
got a lot of extra backlash because she was a black woman. No lie, I've read these comments on thousands and thousands of threads. Oh my God, you're a single mother and you left your child. First of all,
She's making money.
And we do not know if she's a single mother or not. Because Davon does not speak on the father of her child doesn't mean she's a single mother. It means that she protects the privacy of someone that's not on television.
Good for her.
So exactly, and Davon gets a lot of backlash, and she stands up to it and handles it like a true queen. Because I'd be out here cussing everybody out.
Me too.
But I know, me and you be like,
I have no,
I know. And Davon handles it like a queen.
I have zero hold back.
So cheers to Davon. She's a real one. You would love her.
Oh,
I love her. She's the best.
And you know what? And she's the only one that I would actually want to meet. But
Tristelle's like, all you losers except Davon.
Yeah,
And I actually agree. I met all those losers, and Davon's the only one worth keeping. Protect her at all costs.
Just some of them, I was like, who are these people? Davon is literally the only person who I recognize as like famous.
I love that because Davon should have been on The Real World.
She's the only
She's
person
almost
who I-
too good for Big Brother because The Real World, you get
Yeah.
people's true stories.
Yeah.
Davon would have been an amazing Real World cast member. She's the
I like that we bonded on that.
She's the,
Yeah,
you would love
I love her. Well, hey.
Now we're just
Now that you have everybody's phone number, you're like, tell
yes,
us, like,
me,
hey, I'm not your biggest fan.
Davon, and Trishelle are gonna start a group chat. Oh my God.
You have all. I'm fans of like all the people that you know. We need to like get together.
And I'm the original fan of you, so it comes full circle.
That's sweet. That's
it
sweet.
comes full circle. How did you and John meet? I don't know this story.
Tinder, y'all. It's not hard. You know what? I will tell you this. There is a key to working Tinder.
And probably, will this work for all online dating platforms or just Tinder?
No, you have to know yourself first.
Okay.
Number one, you have to know what you want. You know, you're a bad bitch in your own right. So, like, you already know what you want. For me, it took me way longer than you to figure out what I wanted. But, like...
I'm still figuring it out, Trishelle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it took me a long time. Like, honestly, I my dad was just like, my grandmother, before my grandmother died, she was like, are you a lesbian? You can just tell me. I'm like, look, I'm not married yet. My daddy, I remember a couple times I was crying to him about a boy, and my dad would be like, hey, let me ask you something. You gonna get married? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And he's like, well, there's two things that's gonna happen, Trish. You're gonna get married or you're gonna break up. And like my dad's just very cut and dry, and he doesn't like have time for tears. And
that's
so,
how
like,
my father is. I literally just, my dad's in town this week. Like this week, I just had dinner with him last night.
Yeah.
And he literally was like, the fuck is going on with your dating life? I'm
yeah,
like, nothing.
Like,
and he's
shut
like,
it
well,
down.
he was like,
don't cry about it.
He's like, you're 31, you better figure it out. And I was like, okay, okay, Dad,
Yeah.
relax.
Make a list of 3 things that you want that you will not move on, and 3 things.
What are those 3 things that you wouldn't move on? Do you?
Okay,
Will you share them?
I wanted a guy that believed in God. Actually, it wasn't even that he was a Christian. I wanted someone who
believed in something.
Believed in something. Thank you, exactly. Because I've dated Jewish guys too, and like
I love a good Jewish man.
Me too. 2 was I had to have a guy with a college education, like a college degree.
I respect that.
You know, I really wanted that. And then number 3, I believe was, maybe I was like well-traveled or something like that.
A passport.
Yeah, somebody who like kind of like the same thing. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, and then the things that I did not want was like somebody who was impatient, because I know that it takes a guy with a lot of patience to be with me. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not want to date a man that had kids.
Oh my God, that's my same. That's not a bad. But Trishelle, you're allowed to set your own standards.
Well, I was in my late 30s in Louisiana. That's hard. But I said, I don't care. I will be single forever. I don't want to date a man. I don't want to deal with the baby mama. I don't want to deal with crazy drama.
I don't want to share my time with your mother, your baby mama, your kids. I
don't want to share my time with anybody's kids either that aren't
mine. And then
mine.
we can't go on a 2-week vacation because we have to go to a ballet. Absolutely not.
To be honest, I don't want to share my time with my own kids if I have them.
And I'll drink to that.
I'm a little selfish. I just don't want anybody else's kids.
That's how I feel.
My dad told me, he said, anytime someone doesn't meet the criteria of
you just
those
have to
6
swipe
things,
left.
Exactly. And John, well, you know, some guys I entertained, whatever, but I would so freaking stalk their Tinder, and then I would look for them on Facebook if they had their name, and I would screenshot it and see if girls knew them, whatever. Long story short, this guy, like, for some reason liked me, and like,
Trishelle, for some reason.
Well, our personalities, I thought, like, were different.
You probably bring out, like, the fun in him.
Yes.
And he brings the calm in you.
Yes, exactly. Like, we went to Achapalaya for our first date, and I wasn't sure about him, so I asked him if I could bring a girlfriend with me. So our first date...
Trishelle, you took...
So I brought one of my girlfriends. She came with us, and we...
Did you make her leave because you liked him, or did she get to stay the whole time?
No, she stayed the whole time. And then we went to sing karaoke at Buddha Belly.
I love Buddha Belly.
Me too. It's so underrated.
Oh my God.
It's so underrated,
oh my
right?
God.
Like, why don't we hang out more?
Oh
like,
my God, we need to go to Buddha Belly.
So we went to Buddha Belly. We like had like the best time, and then after that it was just like.
How long did y'all date before y'all got married?
Not long.
It wasn't long. I know that. That's why I'm asking.
He proposed to me like after like not even a year, like 8 months.
How did he propose?
Oh my God! No, it's amazing. He hired a second line. I told him, I said, if I ever get engaged, like I want something huge. I'm not a wallflower. I want like a
we know you're not a wallflower.
Spectacle. Yeah. I'm not one of those girls who's like, I'm just okay with like nothing. I'm like, no, I want
bow down,
like,
bitches.
Please give it to me, like So anyway, he did it all. Like my whole family was there, and he proposed to me in front of the St. Louis Cathedral.
Will we ever have like Trishelle babies?
Possibly.
But the eggs are frozen in case you ever want.
So yes, my husband and I went to a fertility clinic, and we decided to freeze our embryos. Actually, like his sperm, because we're obviously, hopefully, not going to get divorced.
Yeah, I don't think y'all will. I think y'all are.
Hey, happens.
But if I believe in one couple, I believe in y'all. So let's ask the question that everyone's wondering.
Yeah.
Did he know who you were?
No.
So he's been living under a rock?
My husband is like military background. He was Air Force.
Never watched MTV.
Pilot, did not watch.
Was too good for MTV.
Didn't watch reality television.
So how did he find out that you were who you are?
So after we met on the dating app, we had not met in person yet. He was telling this younger guy, and he was like, this is a girl that I'm talking to. And the guy was like, whoa, wait, I think that she is like on television. He's like, what? Because I had my name on Tinder was not Trishelle.
What was your name on Tinder, you bitch?
My middle name, it was Elaine. He was addressing me as Elaine every time
Were
he
you
talked
going
to me.
to tell him your name was Trishelle?
I wanted to wait till I met him. So we
Like, hi, I'm Trishelle?
I wanted to wait till I met him. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm Trishelle. He
But
texted me
weird.
one night and he was just like, hey, my friend thinks that you were on television. Like, were you? And I was like,
Guilty.
yeah.
We haven't talked about this, and this is how I want to end it. You and I obviously met on Battle of the Seasons. I was a huge fan of yours, and you were the biggest advocate in that house for me and Knight.
I was.
Remember, you tried to, because him and I were broken up, and he so badly wanted to get back
Yeah.
with me. And
But
I think
saw something there.
you were the biggest advocate for us, but you also was like, you were like, Jimmy, I support you whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And you were the biggest advocate for us. So, Matt, can I ask you why?
I just saw something that on you guys, and like it makes me want to cry actually. But like, I just saw something with the two of you that I knew that was different than it was like a genuine connection. And like beside the show, beside anything, like if you guys had met like on the street, probably same thing.
I think you played a part in rebuilding our friendship.
Well, thank you. And
No,
like,
I
loved him.
I know.
So
And
much.
I think you played a genuine part of rebuilding that friendship. And if you hadn't been on Battle of the Seasons, I don't know if him and I would have ever got back to that friendship. And I remember, and this will always stick out in my mind, you were like, forgiveness is not weakness. You're allowed to forgive people that hurt you. And that's one thing that I learned from you. You're allowed to forgive people that hurt you, and you're allowed to move on. And you're like, Jimmy, who gives a who judged you? None of these people lay down with you at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And you told me that, like, I'm allowed to forgive.
Pride, I feel like when it comes to love, everyone should forget about pride.
I cannot seem like and you told me, like, no, Jimmy, you have to, it's okay to forgive.
Yeah.
And you're like, who cares who's watching this? You don't know these people.
Yeah.
You know him, and you rebuilt that friendship.
Oh, I loved him so much. I remember he like slept on the top bunk.
Yeah, you
whenever
were in the
I,
room
like,
with him.
Lived in that room, and like I was in the bottom bunk, and like a couple nights he'd be like, T, whenever they would cut us off with alcohol, he'd be like, give me your hand. And I thought he just wanted to hold my hand.
But he had wine.
Before we went to sleep that night, and he had like a beer. Like, I'm like, where did you get this? He's like, don't tell anyone. He like cut a hole in a mattress.
Yes! On Battle of the Seasons, Knight cut a hole in a mattress and stored y'all alcohol in that room.
I don't still to this day do not know who he sweet talked to get the
That
beers.
is him in a nutshell, though.
But like, yeah, he'd be like, give me your hand. I thought we were gonna pray or something. I'm like, here.
And he's like, I don't want you a beer.
This is the best gift ever.
You played a vital part in rebuilding that friendship. And thank God you did, because like if
Aw,
everything
I know.
happened and that friendship wasn't rebuilt, so like I came into Battle of the Seasons loving you so much. You lived up to the expectation.
Thank you,
And
sweetheart. I love you
we
too.
became so close, and I am so grateful, because if you had not said no to this series wouldn't even been happening. So thank you.
Oh, I
for so
love
much.
you.
Like, I love you.
Jemm,
Thank
you're
you.
the best.
Thank you for everything.
Thank
for
you
everything
so
that
much
you've
for
done
having
for
me.
females, for women. Like, I don't think you realize how powerful you are. So
I just think that everybody needs to be honest, and like there's no shame in like what you do.
And you've taught women that. You taught me that.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never been the bad bitch I was in my real world interviews and got casted if I hadn't seen you do it. So thank you for paving the way.
You should never hide anything about yourself. You should be proud of everything.
And before we sat down to do this interview, me and Sebastian asked Trishelle if anything was off limits, and you said no. So thank you for that.
Thank
And
you.
I love you.
I love you so much. Oh,
Thank you.
girl, thank you.
And y'all, that's a wrap. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Mwah.
Y'all, Trishelle and I drank way more than I expected us to drink, but you know, in true Trishelle and Jimmy fashion, we are going to keep drinking right here at the tasting room. Thank you again to the tasting room for allowing us to film here. That is exactly how I wanted the first episode to go. Trishelle was so open, so honest. Like, I could not want any more from her. And she set the bar. Now I have to keep delivering the content to y'all. I promise you the guest will live up to Trishelle's standards. Actually, no one's going to live up to Trishelle's standards, but I will do my best to provide the content that she just provided. So thank you, Trishelle. Thank you, Tasting Room. And always remember to keep it real, because I keep the receipts. Cheers, y'all.
Oh.